Welcome to Miller's Monsters, fresh back from vacation, and I have a movie that you can find on Screambox exclusively right now, entitled Deep Fear. Think of the movie Descent, but in the catacombs of Paris. But before we get to talking about the movie, take a moment, hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Please send me your comments. I'd love to get some good questions and hopefully do a segment one time answering your questions on another YouTube video. Deep Fear is a 2022 French horror film, and it's a story about three friends who just graduated. One friend is about to leave for the military, so they want to go have one last hurrah together in Paris, and we pick up with them at a local bar where they're drinking and having a good time, and the young lady in the group meets up with her drug dealer, and they get into a conversation, and she asks him, hey, we want, is there something really special and crazy we can do for his last day, something out of the ordinary? And he says, I have just the thing for you, meet me here. And there's no questions asked, so they decide they're going to meet him tomorrow morning at this certain place, and he's going to take them on a little adventure. And the first tourist guide I go to is the local drug dealer, not. But apparently she trusts him, and they meet up with him the next day, and it turns out he's taking them down into the catacombs underneath Paris, to search the catacombs. And he's pretty well prepared. He has a map, and he goes over the safety with them. It's not really legal to go searching around the catacombs, but apparently a lot of people do it, so they begin their journey, and it's pretty uneventful as they're following the map, and suddenly they come across what he believes, but what he says is the police, and they're arresting people, and they try and sneak through, and on the next thing there's smoke, fog, they get caught. Well, it's basically just an initiation into this group of explorers that go explore the catacombs, and they're mapping the catacombs. So it looks like it's going to be a good time. Everybody's having a good time, dancing, music, drinking, and we learn a story about one of these explorers where her brother disappeared, and she's exploring the catacombs and trying to find her brother, or what happened to her brother. And they come across this one section that hasn't been explored yet, but they can tell is newer than the catacombs themselves. So after some hemming and hawing, our three friends, the drug dealer and a couple other from the group, decide to go explore this section. And so to get to this section, they have to crawl through a very tiny tunnel, about big enough for one body at a time. So if you're claustrophobic, you wouldn't like this at all. And it's a treacherous path through this tunnel to get to the open space on the other side. And we see the fear of the one member, as he is claustrophobic, getting through there, but he makes it. Everybody gets through okay, and they come out on the other side to this newer part of the catacomb, and it looks really modern. Finished walls, finished floors. It looks like some kind of hall or something, and or maybe could have been a hospital or something like that. And as they're walking through a hallway, they see a mural on the wall, and find a duffel bag. Well, in the beginning of the movie, we see someone tagging the wall and, graffitiing the wall. If you don't know what tagging means, it's amazing. I know what tagging means, someone my age. And the one girl that is in the group looking for her brother recognizes the book bag and takes off looking for her brother. Well, what we saw in the beginning of the film and what they don't know about is he was captured by something in the catacombs. We hear grumbling and growling and mumbling, and he's trying to escape, but he gets grabbed and pulled in and disappears. So back to the modern part of the movie, she takes off running. They don't know where she's gone. At this point, no one's explored this yet, so they don't know where they're going, but we have the three friends still there. And the tour guide, with what the map, that's not doing them any good right now, but they start exploring, looking for this girl, and they're starting to hear noises, starting to hear footsteps coming down the path, and decide, okay, this isn't good. It's time to get out of here. Let's go back. And then they come back to the one and try to go through the tunnel. But at this time, a train comes over top, and the tunnel collapses, nearly crushing one of our three students. In the meantime, so now they're stuck over there with the other members of the party besides the girl looking for her brother, and now they have to find a way out with no map or not anything to go with. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Go ahead, lick the head. There you go. Thank you. So we're exploring the hallways again, and they start hearing this growling, and a dog appears. And so they run from it. Henry gets caught, which is the man going into the army the next day, and his leg is injured to where his left leg's pretty much ripped off at the shin. And so now they're really in desperate to leave the catacombs, trying to find a way out. And so they get him, they're exploring, and they find out that this happens to be a Nazi bunker, okay, from back in the war. And apparently they left the people manning that bunker down there. And what we learn shortly thereafter is only one survived and is hunting them with his dog. But after he rips off Henry's leg, the dog, he pretty much doesn't play another part in it. He got scared away for whatever reason, and now it's just them against the Nazi, and we're coming around to a one-on-one fight with them. And the question is, can they find a way out? Well, desperation, they need to find a way out, don't they? Yes. And they need to get Henry help, so they decide to split up. They leave Henry there with the camcorder, and they go out to search for a way out. And unfortunately, Henry doesn't last long after that, because the zombie Nazi, or just somehow this person survived down there. I imagine he was eating, probably cannibalism. Don't know if not probably, but we do see some skulls or skeletons down there, so it must have been cannibalism. And he may have been capturing and eating whoever happens to wander in that section of the catacombs. And so Henry meets his demise, and then the chase is on. Okay, our three people trying to find a way out, and our zombie or resident Nazi there chasing them down, hunting them down. And it's you're pretty basic. Let's go exploring. Let's get lost. Let's have a crazed killer chase after us after that. And one by one, they meet their demise. One by Booby Trap, who runs across a tripwire and gets blown up into a million pieces. And then one himself, who tries. They get back finally to the hole that they crawled across, and they found some grenades that they were going to blow the hole out and get through. And you know, he is defending the woman he went down with, and tries to fight the Nazi, but he does poorly. He's not a fighter, and he meets his demise and gets gutted as well, which we see on screen. So finally it's her and him. She is able to blow a hole in the wall. Unfortunately, she killed the only people that were on the other side of the wall trying to get back to them that knew a way out. Blew them to hell, basically, with the grenade, and is now stuck, you know, again, trying to find a way out. So now she's running around the catacombs trying to find a way out. Eventually, she is able to defeat our zombie, or just a person that's been down there a really, really long time. But still, she is now trapped with no way out of the catacombs. And that's how the movie ends, is we see her trying to reach up to get out of the catacombs. She found a manhole, but the manhole is welded, so she can't move it, and no one can hear her screams. Just like if you're in space, no one can hear you scream in space, you know? So that's right. Don't go in the catacombs, don't go to space, and you'll be all right. It's a rework of so many movies. I said, you know, it's a group of people, group of explorers go down somewhere or go somewhere, get lost. The killer chases them, picks them off one by one. One survivor supposedly, you know, is going to get out, but in this case, you know, it looks like she has no way out because she has no clue where she's at. So now she's stuck down there. The special effects are great. Okay, I give it an A+ for that. You know, there's a lot of limbs torn apart, and I never mentioned the fate of the girl that realized her brother was down there. She found her brother's skeleton and got her arm ripped off, which is a really cool part of the movie, where you know, she's standing there with her arm ripped off, and it looked really good. You know, the zombies, cool, spooky. You know, the only suspense is, you know, are they going to find a way out or not? And so, you know, it's watchable. Okay. You know, I'd watch it one time. If you have Screambox, hell, you know, you paid $5 for Screambox, and probably a lot of you did, to see Terrifier 2 over and over again. You know, just take the time and give it a watch, and you know, don't expect anything great, just your normal, you know, escape story. So I hope you liked what you heard. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button, leave me comments. Please leave me comments. I'd love to interact with you, and I will talk to you next time.